Hello guys, thank you so much for joining me. Wow, I really miss saying this thing. Almost month and a half I was away from YouTube. Not away in that sense. Like I really did not open YouTube and stuff like that. I was there. I was active YouTube on YouTube, very much active. But in the sense of not posting in new videos, I was responding to your comments very frequently. I've been really away from this thing due to the college reasons. Really, a lot of pressure right now. Doing online college is not that easy. That's what I feel. So, moving ahead, 1.5 month almost. Lot of changes, lot of new things have added up. And the first and the most important change that I would like to actually tell you guys is this. Yes, finally we have changed the name of our channel from ND Craft to That Aero Guy. Well, this change was really important. I had actually asked you guys in the previous videos, suggest me some good names, and this is the name I came up with very randomly and very. It actually just struck my mind really in a really weird way, I would say. I wasn't even thinking about it, and suddenly it struck my mind that okay, this could be a really good name. So that's what I went with, and this is the biggest change that I would like to actually tell you guys. And the second thing that we have added up in this thing is the website. Yes, we have created our own website, That Aero Guy. That was the main reason for me changing the channel name from ND Craft to That Aero Guy. That was the main reason, because website's name and the channel name, I wanted it to match. So I somehow found this website. I got this website's name, and I quickly thought of changing the YouTube channel name as well to That Aero Guy. Well, why this change? First of all, I would like to tell you guys that now we are just not anything about crafts. We are expanding our territory. As I said, we have went into aviation, news, many other things, travel vlogs as well. We'll be soon introducing, but not right now, because the situation right now is not very good to travel. That's what I feel. But in today's video, the first video of almost 1.5 month of break is about a travel only. So, Handicraft, that is Nihar. I'm in conversation with Anagha. She's one of our co-creator of the website. She's my team member now, and we are friends in college actually. And it's been almost 1.5 years I know her, and we are doing the same course, aerospace mechanical engineering thing from New York, and she's currently in Oman. She actually traveled from Delhi to Oman, and that's what she'll be sharing the experience of how it was to travel. We did a video with Chirag, if you guys remember, and he told us some good things about travel at that point of time. But that was approximately 2 to 3 months before. And even in the span of 2 to 3 months, a lot of things have actually changed in this travel thing. So she'll be actually with us to share her experiences from India to Muscat, that is Oman. So one, we had the experience of coming back to India, and one is flying from India. So really a good lot of experiences that she's gonna share with us. And she had actually told me this thing way before, when she actually came back to India due to some reasons, that the flight experience at that time was also really weird and really shocking. I would say that many people have not actually faced this kind of situation, but she actually did it. And she will also be sharing the past experiences and the experiences that she actually had while traveling from Delhi to Muscat. Okay, so let me join her in this video very quickly. Okay. Hi, Amra, how are you?
I'm fine. As good as any student will be in this position right now.
I see. Okay, great. So we are here to discuss your recent travel that you actually had from Delhi to Oman, right? So,
Yes.
okay, so first of all, just tell me in one word, what would you actually say about this journey?
A bit stressful,
A bit stressful.
slightly stressful.
Okay, slightly stressful. So let's consider the fact that the corona started, or the COVID-19 started from the beginning of this year. So since then, how many times have you actually traveled?
Around 3 to 4 times.
3 to 4 times. Okay. So When was the first time that you traveled, and when was the last time that you traveled?
So I traveled back in the end of August, around 20 last week of August,
Okay.
and that was the last time I have actually traveled through plane.
Okay. Okay. And when was the first time during this year that you traveled?
It was back in Jan, first week, last week of Jan.
Okay, so I guess everyone had kind of returned to their countries, but you stayed in the United States, right? So you had a domestic travel in January.
Yeah, I had a domestic travel in January.
Okay, but that time I guess in the US itself, the corona was not at any kind of
Yeah,
everything was chilled out, right?
actually, there was no hype around it. The WHO did not even consider it as a pandemic till
Right.
I think Feb,
Yeah, I
end
guess
of Feb.
yeah, Feb, end of Feb, I guess. Yes, that's true.
Yeah, that's when everybody was like, okay, now something really wrong is happening.
Right, right, correct. So, considering this travel, we are looking forward to your explanation and your experiences in this one. So, let's begin from the very beginning, I would say. So, where did you start from? You start from Delhi, right?
Yeah. So
Okay.
it was actually I got my flight confirmation a day before, like
Okay.
on the night before I had to travel.
Right.
I got my flight confirmations, but I knew I was going to travel because my parents were already like discussing it in the embassy.
Right.
So I got everything done. I packed my bags the day before.
Right.
For extra luggage, my father especially like got me a business class ticket just to get like
Okay.
extra luggage I could carry. Like
Right.
you understand, we had a lot of documents when we were getting as a freshman student, so I had to carry all
Right.
those documents back.
Right. But I guess the thing that happened that made you actually stay in India is weird and kind of disheartening as well as scary at times for people, right?
Yeah,
When you travel
it
from
was a scary time. So back in March, when
right,
I traveled back to India, I actually
yeah,
had a flight directly to.
you had a flight
Not
to
a direct
Oman, right?
Abu Dhabi. I
Yes,
had a flight
from
from
Abu
Abu
Dhabi, yes,
Dhabi to Oman.
right.
So in Abu Dhabi airport, before I land to Abu Dhabi airport, I get to know that Oman has like closed all its borders again. It had opened the borders for just 24 hours.
Okay.
I don't know, for some special purposes or some citizens.
Mhm.
But I was traveling with few citizens also who had to travel back, even though, and I'm a resident card holder.
Okay, so you are a
So
Oman resident card holder.
yeah, I'm a resident card holder, and there were few citizens also, the local, who were also traveling. So they also got blocked at Abu Dhabi airport. Like you cannot travel, although
So
travel
you
was
got to know
banned.
that Oman airport is closed while you were traveling or while you were in the plane on board from Abu Dhabi to Oman, right?
I no. The thing was, when I was in the plane from
Yeah.
US to Abu Dhabi,
Yeah.
I got a hint that there's something wrong,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
The crew was not informing me exactly what was happening and if I will be able to board the flight to Oman. They
Okay.
told me that I might have to find another way in the crew when I was in Etihad Airways.
Mhm.
Uh, then when I landed, I just got confirmed on Abu Dhabi airport that I cannot travel anymore to Oman, that I'll have to find some other way. I did not have I did not have the visa for Dubai or UAE. I did not have any UAE visa. Like I did not have any relatives in UAE who could like actually arrange something for me. The only way was left to travel back to India somehow, get a flight, the nearest possible flight, so I won't be quarantined in India,
Mhm.
and just get on a flight, go back to India, find a way to just get home quarantined and not quarantined in a hotel or a government facility.
Right.
That's what was my aim. That I didn't want to get quarantined in a government facility in India. That's what I was scared the most of.
Mhm.
Then when I landed in Indian airport, I just realized they don't actually care about social distancing.
Okay. So, considering that time when you actually landed in India and the time that you actually took a flight from India, It was like almost a period of 4 5 months, I guess.
Yeah,
4 5 months,
yeah, around 5 months.
right?
Around five
5 months.
months.
So you were
From
actually
end of March till end of August, 5 months.
right. So you were quarantined at your own house. You were living in Delhi,
Yeah.
right? And
Yes.
then you took a flight at the last of the August to Oman, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what differences do you see when you actually see the airport during the March time and the airport that you see during the August and September times?
I think the entrance and exits were similar. That there was not much of social distancing being formed when I had to travel in August this time. So when I actually like came to the airport, there was like a crowd of people at the entrance.
Okay,
It was not as big as usual,
right.
but still, it was a crowd. You can see that people are traveling.
Uh-huh.
All the gates were for domestic flights. Only the
Okay.
last two gates in Terminal 3 International Airport, all the gates were just for domestic flights. Only the last two gates, in the end,
Right. The
somewhere were
end gates,
for,
right. Yeah.
yeah, the last end gates 7 and 8. I remember the numbers. Gate
Yes.
number seven and
There are
eight.
8 gates in
They
Delhi.
were for international flights, but this time it was like they did not allow anyone to enter through any gate. They
Right.
had like a list of people which were allowed from certain gates. So I was told in which list I was, which gate I had to go to. The line to the gate, the line towards the gate
Yeah.
was quite stuffy. It felt stuffy. Like even
Suffocating.
though people were trying to maintain distance, it did not seem to be happening because I think one thing they did wrong, they told you to fill your health form when you were in the line. So that was also making the uh, line time long because people were filling the forms and trying to get in, and there was no table or any kind of flat surface where you could fill your forms,
Right. Right. Right.
and you had to like take out all your documents, fill the form in the line while you are in the line, and at the same time your luggage is also getting sanitized through UV machines. They
Okay.
got UV machines on Delhi airport.
Right. Right. That's great.
That's good.
Okay, one more thing I would like to ask. The people, the security outside the gate, were they in PPE kits or any kind of protect?
Yeah, they were wearing face masks, face shields, gloves.
Okay,
They were not wearing like a full-fledged PPE kit, but you
right,
can see that they were taking proper preventive methods.
right.
The people who were outside were not allowed to enter, and the people who were like inside were like not allowed to exit, I think.
Okay,
There was that also.
okay. So we could say that during your March time travel and the August time travel, the difference was the awareness that could be the possible reason.
Yeah, the awareness and the preventive methods they were taking. Like they knew what they were doing. When
Exactly.
I traveled in August, the people knew what they were doing. But
Okay,
when I was in March, people were like just trying to get things done.
right.
March was like a bad time to travel.
Okay, so then you actually entered into the airport, right?
I entered the airport, they took my temperature, they took the form, they gave me a stamp that my temperature is not high.
Okay.
Then I had to waste mostly in the luggage line, even though there were like five luggage gates open,
Five
like
counters,
five
five check
counters.
counters were open for just one flight.
Yeah, like
Oh,
that was like different. There was
that's ironic to
five
the
counters
actual
open.
situation of Delhi airport, I would say.
This time there were not a lot of people,
And
and
five
everybody was
counters open.
maintaining social distancing, but they had around five counters open, like three people in every counter. But
Oh,
they were taking their sweet time to check all the documents. Their sweet time. It
okay,
was kind of irritating also because the flight I was taking had a lot of laborers also. Like
okay,
the Oman has recently opened its construction, so
okay.
a lot of laborers were traveling from India,
Uh-huh.
and I like there was a crowd of laborers approved, and there were certain engineers also who were traveling. A
Okay.
lot of site on engineers. I met two site on engineers, not met them, I just know they were engineers by the way they were talking.
Right, right, right.
Site engineers.
Uh,
And yeah, so there were a lot of people, people who are coming through a company traveling at that time.
right.
So when in which line I was, first of all, they did not inform me that there's a separate line for business class. Usually they'll have like a sign that,
That's
business
that.
class line and all.
Yeah, right.
Right? This time it was nothing like that. There was just one person standing. He saw which line was vacant and he told me to go and stand there.
Right.
So I was like, I'm not gonna argue that I'm business class or anything. I'll just stand where you're guiding me and all.
Okay, so the three people, five counters open, and still it's three people in one line and five counters open, and still it took you 1 hour.
Yeah,
Okay.
because they were not only because of that person who was in front of me,
Right.
like who had like blocked the line.
Right.
The other people also, they were like getting double checked that their flights are on the name. They were like checking from the embassies. They were getting so many notifications. One person, like, he was approved, but he was approved of the flight before.
Oh,
He was approved of the flight before, so he thought he could just join this flight also because he had missed it.
yes.
And they were like trying to explain it to him that you have to get an approval again, you have to go to the embassy again. And I don't know how he entered the airport because they were already such a
Yes,
secure check at the gates. So I
exactly.
was like confused at his situation. Okay, what is happening? After my luggage check-in, like I entered to the passport checking area, there was not a lot of people over there. It did not take much time,
Okay.
15 to 20 minutes. Security was cool. They were not that strict. The
Okay.
only thing they were not allowing was, I think, water bottles, and they were allowing you to carry food. They didn't care anymore that if you're carrying food. They was just
Okay.
checking that you're in proper protective gear, that you're wearing gloves, that you're wearing masks.
Mhm.
I saw a lot of people in PPE kit, like a lot of passengers in PPE kit. I saw a lot of students traveling. So
Oh,
I think a lot of students were going back to America or any UK and all the other countries.
right, right, right.
I think so. So I saw a lot of, not a lot, but I saw 3 or 4 students traveling. And when you recognize students as a student yourself, okay, this person is a student. You
Right.
can recognize by the way they are handling things, or like
Yeah.
you can see they have some kind, like from distance you can see, okay, they have a passport, that that a ticket to another country, so
Right.
they are of course a student or an exchange program or something like that.
Right.
So I saw a lot of students traveling in that way.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And after the security check, when I entered the airport, oh my god, it was so dull. Like, I
Right.
had, for the first time in my life, I had seen uh, the airport in such bad state, like such dull, such it was such despondent, such depressive state it was.
Right. Right.
And all the shops are closed except the Delhi airport liquor and perfume shops.
Okay. Okay. That seems a little very kind of obvious, or it's very common, because the first thing that was opened after the lockdown had actually ended was the liquor shop.
Yeah, the
Those were the
liquor
first
shop.
thing that were open. So I don't think that you seeing the duty free liquor shops opened were any kind of shocking or a surprising element.
Yeah.
And what about the food court that's
The
upstairs?
food court was closed. Yeah, it was
It was
closed.
completely closed.
Yeah, you can. It was completely blocked. Like,
Okay.
from the ground one. I was on the first floor.
Right.
You
Right.
could see that it's closed. You could see
Okay.
that it's closed. Like, they have blocked the view.
Okay.
There was no coffee shop open. Apparently, Starbucks was open, and I was very thirsty. They did not allow any water bottles. I was quite thirsty. So I had to get the overpriced iced tea from Starbucks
Right.
as usual. So
No.
they were serving all the cold drinks in bottle. They were like,
Okay.
except if you're like getting hot coffee or something. Other than that, they were just serving every cold beverage in
In the cup,
bottles.
like in the bottle.
So
Yeah.
yes, they were not serving any cups, and there was only one size for all drinks,
Okay.
almost all drinks.
Oh,
For all cold beverages, only one size. I was quite thirsty. I had food with me. I had got some food with me. I
right.
was not sure that I might be able to eat something on
On
flight.
time. Right,
So
right.
I got some food with me, and when I entered the Starbucks, they like completely sprayed on me. They
Okay.
checked my temperature,
In terms
and then
of
they
what
allowed me to
you
get on the
right.
counter. And after that, after I made a payment, then again they sanitized my hands, and then I was able to take my coffee.
Okay.
Not coffee, my tea. My tea. After that, I waited for 1 hour. My gate was actually felt crowded, even though there was not a lot of people. But they had blocked chairs.
Oh,
Like you can
right,
sit
right.
on one
Exactly.
chair, two chairs were sealed, and then you can sit on another chair.
Okay. So they were
They're
like
sealed.
in a quad seats. So like two seats were the end seats were open. Both the middle seats were closed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
So they
that
had
have
sealed
actually
seats
made you
like
feel crowded because I would say what like 50% or 60% of the area is closed anyways. So
yeah,
people sitting actually would make you feel crowded, right?
yeah. People were sit like all the seats were occupied when I reached my gate, and
Yeah.
you could see that people were like crowding near the gates, just standing or like
Right.
leaning beside some pole or something. The cleaning was like done very thoroughly, like
Okay.
really thoroughly. As soon as I entered the airport for the first time, the fragrance or the scent of the bleach was quite strong, and
Okay.
it was
Right.
really strong. And I waited for my flight. I got on my flight. The experience in my flight was quite good.
Okay. So you
So it was
boarded,
an
right?
Oman Air.
Yeah.
It was not a Dreamliner, but it was
Okay.
basic Oman going.
It was a 737 Boeing. Yeah.
Yeah, 737. It was not that.
You said you had a business class ticket, right? So did you get the priority entrance?
Actually, no. Like, I didn't take the priority, and like, I didn't
Okay.
get any priority entrance. They just
Okay.
called everyone. There were not a lot of people
Right.
to
Exactly.
like exactly divide in different compartments and all. There were not a lot of people. Like in economy class, three seats, only one person is sitting, and if you're a couple or a family, then I think that you were allowed to sit in twos. But mostly it was like one person sitting in three seats,
Right.
and in business class also one person in two seats. So there were like around total 14 to 12 seats in business class, and only seven were occupied. So
Okay.
business class felt more occupied than economy. When I saw the economy, I was like, oh god, this is just too empty. Like it was really
Right.
empty.
Right. Compared to
Not a
the
lot of
economy
people
section, yes.
traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually when you fly, all the flights are booked. Planes are usually overbooked. They
Right.
overbook it,
Yeah, they
and
do
then they
it
cancel it and move
over
it.
100%, right?
Yeah. So this time it just felt not like 50% was also like it was not even completely 50% booked. It
Right.
felt so
How
empty.
were the actual arrangements of the economy class? Like how many people were actually
I
in a
just saw a glimpse of it, but
yeah.
usually there were one person in three seats, one person,
Right. Okay.
and on the other side also seats, one person.
One person.
And I think in the center they were allowing two in the end corners
Okay.
and one seat blocked in the middle.
Right.
But that was there. Couples were sitting, like you could identify that, if people are sitting together, that they're part of a family or
They
they're
are
a
part of
couple.
the family. So family can travel
Yeah,
together.
because, yes.
Okay.
Or they might have pre booked a flight in such a way that
Right.
they sit together.
Right.
Uh, I was sitting alone in the business class. It was awesome. Oh, as awesome as it could be.
Uh-huh.
The only thing I found different was the seating arrangement, that the seats were more comfortable.
Right.
Other thing was not that different from economy class.
Well,
The
you're just
food
having a
the
three and a
service.
half hour flight, so you wouldn't, actually demand a Dreamliner business class for that. It's just like a small
Yeah,
business class, right?
yeah. The food was good.
Yeah.
They were quite strict. Nobody was allowed to remove their masks.
Right.
They just kept the air hostess like kept coming after 20 minutes just to check that everyone's wearing their masks.
Okay.
Uh, and everybody's maintaining distance.
Hmm.
Like nobody's getting up. We were not like the. I think the seatbelt signs never like got switched off during the entirety of the flight.
Okay. I'm seeing whenever I'm seeing these days the uh, flights where you book the flights, the sites where you actually book the flights, they are giving some kind of ratings for their cleanliness and their services as well. And what all is actually
But the
changed.
flight was quite clean. Like you could, usually when you enter the flight, there's this pleasant perfume
Right,
smell,
exactly.
and all. They try to make it pleasant, but this time it smelled clean. It
Okay,
smelled like clean means that they
okay,
have like cleaned everything. I
right,
think they
right.
were aiming for that just to make
Yeah,
people feel secure.
that's very true.
So it
That's
felt clean.
yeah. So you had your meals and everything. So how long was the flight? Like 3 hours? Not more than that, I guess.
It was supposed to be around 3 to 4 hours, but we got half an hour early. We landed half an hour early than we are supposed to.
I wouldn't see that as a surprising thing again, because no turbulence and nothing like that. Like no
Yeah.
air
No,
turbulence or
actually,
air
the
traffic.
problem is we boarded late. We
Okay,
boarded 20 minutes. Our flight took off 20 minutes late. We boarded late.
okay,
Because of I think the security and the I don't know why. Usually it never happened to me in Oman, but we boarded a bit late.
okay.
And the pilot was assuming that we might land a bit late, but we landed before time.
Oh, okay. So even after
So
getting late, you landed early. So that was a good experience, I would say.
yes, that was a good experience. I landed when I like when you land, you don't actually have a lot of crowd. But you land from any flight, you don't see a lot of crowd.
Right, very
I
true.
think that's common. So we landed. A lot of people like landed, and when we just landed, there was one security personnel, two or three security personnel. They were like they checked the passports. They checked like everyone that was supposed to come had come, and then they like just told them to follow us. So
Okay,
everyone who landed, we were following, like not as a group
right.
or not as a crowd. Like there were a lot of like we they were just giving us directions mostly, and we just had to reach a lounge.
Hmm.
They guided us towards a lounge, and we waited there for half an hour to hour. They made us fill forms, they gave us guidelines, and one guideline I remember was that like you should have an in-suite washroom
Okay,
or a
yeah,
washroom that is yours. So I have a personal washroom. Like my parents' washroom is different.
right,
I have a personal washroom, in-suite washroom. So that was a good thing.
right.
So they said if you don't have a personal or in-suite washroom, even if you have a separate room, you will need to like go get quarantined in a hotel or a government
Or
facility.
government facility, right.
So I don't know what the reason for just having a separate washroom was, but I think it was just to maintain distance that you don't have to get out of your room
No, basically
for
the
any
most,
reason.
I would say basically the most unhygienic place, even though it's hygienic in your house, is the bathroom, I would say, or the
Yeah,
washroom area, right? So
not
that's the most
unhygienic, but it's mostly like where we perform our hygienic duties.
right, exactly.
So so it has a lot of like the people don't want you to come in contact with other
With
people's
other people,
germs and
exactly. So
vice versa. And they
they
don't
were
want you to get out of your room for just going to a washroom.
right, exactly, exactly. Very true. Yes, yes.
Yeah,
You were
so
quarantined again
that was
for like what, 14
yeah.
days?
I quarantined for 14 days. Actually, more than 14 days.
Okay,
A bit more than 14 days because my quarantine was supposed to get over on the weekend, and then
okay,
I had to wait 2 or 3 days to go to the government facility and get my documents signed that
okay.
and stamped that I have completed my quarantine and I have not faced any kind of symptoms or any kind of fever and things. I don't have corona. I had to just do that.
Right,
And then I have been out, like, as much as out you can go, get out of your house.
right,
As
right.
much opportunity you get out of your house.
Mm-hmm. That's very true. So let's just take up a kind of a brief thing. I would say let's do some kind of ratings. I would say how would you rate the Delhi airport out of
I would
10?
rate it
Out
out
of
of 10,
yeah,
10, I would rate it 6 or 7.
6 or 7. In what terms are you actually grading it 6 or 7?
So I'm actually grading on the terms of like social distancing and on the terms of the hygiene being followed. So the hygiene will stop. But social distancing was not that great. Like there were still places that people were lacking.
Somewhere people were actually coming in kind of small groups, but somewhere they were actually in social distancing.
Yeah.
Right.
Does.
Yeah, that's Delhi airport. And then the second thing, how would you rate the Oman Air at this time out of 10?
Oman Air, I would rate it high. I would rate it 8 or 9. It was
8 or
good.
9. Okay.
I enjoyed the
Yeah.
experience.
So you would
It was
actually
good.
rate it more because you traveled business class, or you would actually rate it or not
I
consider.
have traveled overall. I have traveled previously also through Oman Air, and I would really rate it better. Like I would rate it high. I would rate it 8 or 9.
8 or
It
9.
was good.
Great.
The
And
service was good. They were keeping. They were strict in their regulations. They were not allowing anyone to like you know be throwing tantrum or like remove masks because every other day you see some videos coming up online of that some random person not refusing to wear a mask
right,
or
right, right.
refusing to follow
Very
rules
true,
just
very
because
true.
they
These
feel
are
like it.
yes. And the third and the last thing that you would rate the Oman airport and your home quarantine. How did they manage?
So my home quarantine was like in my home. It
Right.
was they didn't call like in India when I was quarantined. I used to get call every week,
Right.
once a week,
Yes.
sometimes twice a week, and I used to get a call from police department, and I used to get call from some medical department.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
but over here, the structure was more better. Like you had to quarantine completely for 14 days. They were not going to call you or they were not going to inspect you. But my father told me that there had been incidences where like person was not like quarantined properly, and they went somewhere and they were asked their ID cards or their resident cards, and their name had popped up like as person who's
Right.
supposed to be in quarantine or something,
Quarantine.
and they
Yes.
had to pay a fine, or they might have had to like go to a government facility to be
Right.
quarantined. So that was there. That's why I think these might be rumors, but you don't know. The government over here is like
Right.
it's not democracy; it's a monarchy. So
Right.
you have to follow the
Exactly.
rules.
You have to follow the rules. Very true. Very true. And then after that, also after 14 days of your quarantine, you have to get yourself checked and stamped and
It was not
everything is
like a very
clear from.
strict check. They just took my temperature and then they just stamped me off because I didn't
Right.
have any temperature.
You don't have any
They didn't
high
do
temp.
like proper check or anything. I don't think there is any proper check also, like to check
Right.
every symptom.
Right.
The doctor has to believe word of mouth.
Right. 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 So how would you actually rate it out of 10?
Out of 10, my experience in the airport again, I would rate it as 7 or 8.
7 or 8. Okay.
It was very quick.
Right.
It was
Airports
efficient,
are like,
but I didn't get the time to actually see the airport or do anything.
right.
Like people were in a hurry,
Right. Right.
and the people who are at the airport, they seemed in a hurry to get rid of us.
Right. Very true. Very true. So, how would you actually, would you actually recommend traveling anywhere right now? That's the last question that I think I have for you.
Yeah, so it's not a bad experience. Yeah, it's stressful. The flight part is stressful, and
Yes.
then being quarantined for 14 days is stressful.
Right.
But if you're traveling to a place where they don't have such quarantine rules, and you have like already like want to just travel and see the place, why not?
Right.
But still, you have to be careful. Like you have to take your preventive methods.
Right.
You have to wear proper protective gear.
Well,
This is wrong. This is
I would
the
actually tell all my viewers out there that please, whenever you are traveling, do respect the cabin crew because I think they are just doing their own duty and they are
yeah,
actually making you more protected, right?
because
Right.
these people are responsible for the food you might be eating, and these people are responsible for the flight
Right.
you're traveling in.
Exactly, exactly. I would just say, respect all of the cabin crew right now. Anywhere, whenever you're traveling, do wear your mask. Be really safe out there. If you're traveling for leisure, make sure you are, all protected and make sure you are just
Yeah. You
not
don't want to turn your leisure into a sick, bad day.
exactly, exactly. That's everything that's recommended from this video. So thank you so much, Anga. Thank you so much for sharing the experience. And one more thing I would like to say, welcome to the team, That Aero Guy. You are a member and you're a co-creator of That Aero Guy. So welcome to the team again.
I hope my passion for travel is expressed through this.
I'll be picking up a short video as well to explain all of my viewers what the website will actually be about and how everything will be handled by us and as a team and how they can actually get a chance to be on our channel and our website as well. So, guys, stay tuned. We'll just say
We
short
will
goodbye
hopefully get
from Anha.
more content to you
Exactly, we'll
in
be there
future.
with you guys. We'll be there to share all the contents and regular updates. For now, I'll be saying goodbye to Anagha. Thank you so much, Anagha. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
and I'll see you soon.
And
Okay,
thank you for having me. Bye.
sure. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye.
Okay. Okay, guys. So that was Anagha for you. She shared a lot many experiences. I guess this video is gonna be really long. Don't worry, I won't be taking much of your time. Just the last thing that I want to stress out while Anagha was with us, and I said it in brief as well, that you guys also have the opportunity to feature on our channel as well as a website. It's not that just my friends can do it, anyone can do it. You have the opportunity now. The blog post will be ready and the website will be active in maybe a couple of weeks, I guess. But before that, if anyone wants to contact us right now, they can do that as well. Make sure that travel is within the 10 days you contact us, so that the travel doesn't get really old and we can make the video and we can actually post it on our website and our channel as well. So it should be in the span of 10 days you should be contacting us. Make sure you have a lot of photos or videos that you have captured while you travel. Minimum of 10 photos and 2 videos, this is required. And when you think you're ready and you have your experience and your journey completely prepared in your mind, do contact us at shareyourexperiences at thataeroguy.com. You have it written on the video right now and in the description as well. So do not hesitate to contact. We'll make sure we'll reply to all the queries and all the emails we get. We'll try to do that. And do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button as well. If you find something not good about this video, do write it in the comment section below. I'll make sure to work on that as well. And if you have any queries regarding this video or any travel, anything news that you want to share, do write in the comment section below. I've been getting a lot of comments from you guys from the past 10-12 days and I'm really liking it. Thank you so much, guys. And do follow Instagram page and Facebook page. I might be doing some changes on the Facebook page, but make sure you follow the Instagram page. So that's it from this video. Thank you so much, guys. Over and out.